What would your life have been like if throughout your entire life there had always been a sense of being really safe? Well, unfortunately, that's not the case for most of us. Creating a safe space. I realize I've never done a tapping video just on the subject that is at the heart and soul of absolutely everything I do and teach, how to create a safe space. If you do that, the rest takes care of itself. But this is a tapping video, so start tapping. A safe space. What would your life have been like if throughout your entire life there had always been a sense of being really safe? Your parents were a safe haven. Friends were a safe haven. So even when you didn't run into places that were dangerous, that weren't open to you, something inside was so used to being embraced in the safety that it didn't matter. You became immune to it. Well, unfortunately, that's not the case for most of us. We were all traumatized to some degree or another. And what is a trauma? A trauma is simply being unsafe and not being able to do anything about it. That's it. That's all there is to it. You're in a place that is perceived as dangerous, and you can't fight it, and you can't run away from it. That's it. You're not safe, and there's no way out. Freeze. You're in a trauma. Now, when you're a kid, and your parents aren't always very nice to you, every parent has to teach their child certain things. They have to inculturate them to the degree that they can function. So sometimes it's very well-intentioned, but even the most well-intentioned is going to be an inhibition on our natural expression of ourselves. And we inevitably interpret that. The nervous system has no choice but to interpret that is, it's not safe to be myself. Because it isn't. I'm not acceptable to this culture. I've got to become something else. Sometimes you can get downright abusive and everything in between, but it all does the same thing. The nervous system says, I'm not safe. Now, I have no disagreement with anything about self-help, personal development, psychotherapy, hypnosis, all the various modalities we use. I mean, look, I use this one, right? I have no issue with them whatsoever, except for one little thing. All of them try to start from the premise that we got to fix something here. Something's off, and we got to fix it. Of course, that was actually the attitude your parents had towards you. You know, this behavior's not right. We got to fix it. We got to change it. So even though it's very well intentioned, as your parents may have been, many weren't. The stories I've heard from the people I work with, no, their parents were not well-intentioned. They were really ignorant. And so it was very, very severe. But whether it was well-intentioned or severely abusive, the space wasn't safe. Which is exactly the same thing when we set out this idea that somehow you got to get fixed. No matter how well-intentioned, the nervous system gets it's the same message. So, that again. Okay. And the defenses stay up. They won't let things in. It's too dangerous. Even the potential for good things, love and money and fun and intimacy and friends. And look at all the places in your life that have become contracted. Somehow you just can't get beyond this wall. What is that? I'm not safe. The whole point for me behind tapping, the reason I use it, is the whole message behind the process I call inner reconciliation. And it is all about creating a safe space. Making it safe for the body to release traumas, drop out of its defensive posture, and therefore liberate the real you that it's been protecting. So let's tap now. Let's do traditional back and forth tapping. And this is interesting. I haven't used the karate chop in a long time. So thank you for reminding me. So even though it hasn't been safe to be me, it wasn't safe to be me. And I have been continuing that tradition of making it unsafe to be myself through self-judgment, self-condemnation, criticism, and relentless attempts at fixing myself. I'm open to the possibility that I can just accept myself as I am and be that safe place. So even though I learned how to not be a safe place, somehow had to get fixed, had to do things right, had to follow all of the correct rules, even though it felt so uncomfortable and off, I recognized that I've been doing it to myself. And I'm choosing instead to somehow become the loving, safe space I never got before. So even though I have no idea how to do that, perhaps just the intention and desire to do so is enough. Whether it is or not, I am choosing consciously, even though I don't know how, to love and accept myself as I am. And what could be safer than that? Taps are the points. What could be safer than that? What could be safer than love? My nervous system had to defend me, had to put up walls, had to create phony behaviors, had to create attitudes that weren't mine, suppress feelings that were dangerous, suppress behaviors that were natural. It had to do that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have lived. I would have been crushed. Actually, part of me feels crushed. It wasn't safe to be myself. And I learned to continue to do that. It really wasn't safe. And so my nervous system, being the absolutely brilliant thing that it is, came up with a way to keep me safe. What a cost. I could not be myself. And so even now, totally being myself is not allowed. In fact, I don't even know who that is. I don't even know who I'd be without all of this. I'll do another tapping on that. Maybe I don't have to know. Right now, I just have to do what? How do I make a safe space? All I know how to do is suppress. Well, I want to make a safe space. That's something. I want to stop rejecting myself. I want to move into self-acceptance and love. That counts, right? Right, that counts. So I got that going for me. Well, what was it defending against? Being hurt, being lost, protecting me in order to keep me, the real me, safe. And it did that because it was dangerous. It wasn't safe. So it built all of these defenses. Rightly so. It was the right strategy then. So what breaks down these defenses? What's one thing in the universe that there's no defense for? Ah, I know what it is. Love. Unconditional, accepting, allowing love. We don't need defense for love. When my parents were loving, they were. If anybody was loving, I didn't need to defend myself against them. I just let them in. It was obvious. The defenses came down. So I'm going to give myself permission to take seriously that thing in EFT. I love and accept myself anyway. At least I want to. I really want to learn how to give my nervous system what it needs. Unconditional acceptance and love. So I accept the fact that it twisted itself in knots to keep me safe. I accept the fact that it suppressed me, that it made me small, that it made me act in ways I didn't want to act, made me do things I didn't want to do, make me appear ways that I didn't want to appear, made me be small and contracted because it was just trying to protect me, to keep me safe. And it worked. I am safe. I don't feel free, but I'm safe. So thank you. I love you. You did a great job. So maybe we don't have to be as extreme. Maybe I can be both visible, open to love and intimacy, and safe, dare I say it, at the same time. Maybe we don't need such a massive shutdown. I totally accept my whole nervous system as it is, even open to loving it. I've been so fighting with it, angry with myself. Why does this keep happening and keeps doing all these things? Oh, because it's trying to protect me. Kudos. And boy, what a great job it's done. I'm opening myself up to this. Genuine, unconditional, self-accepting love. To accept the whole energy system and what it did to keep me safe is to accept myself. That is unconditional love. I'm giving myself permission to really love myself in the most practical and earthy ways. And opening myself up to all the beauty and bounty that comes when my nervous system says, it's safe to play. It's safe to be yourself. And I'm willing to stay present as every single layer comes peeling off, and I get closer and closer to who I really am. The very pure, innocent nature of love itself. Love itself, that is what I am. Deep breaths. Again, let your body settle into this. Just notice what you're feeling. There could be some contractions some places, some total relief from others. I find just presenting the idea of, can I be safe and free at the same time? Can I be like totally expansive and just exploding outward and in all sorts of wonderful things and be safe simultaneously? Is that even possible? What if it is? You can just feel the question itself settling in. Don't try to answer. The answer will come just from life itself. Thank you all, my dear ones. Until next time, GP Walsh. Love yourself. Namaste. Hey everybody, this is GP and thank you. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. If you really like this work and you like the meaning of it, it's been beneficial and helping, please give me money. No, really, seriously, please like, share, tell your friends, advertise, buy stock, and send me money. It obviously takes a lot to keep this going. I do it all myself, all the technical work and the like. I try to keep expenses as low as possible, and every little penny helps. So if you just go over to my site, well, not my site, it's patreon.com/gpwalsh, and give me as much as you possibly can. And of course, remember, if you do, good things are going to come to you. You'll be bestowed with blessings and wonder and life and weight loss and everything you could possibly ever want. But remember, if you don't, bad things are going to happen. All right. Well, bad things aren't ever going to happen, but that has nothing to do with it. But if you really like this, please help me out and let me keep doing this for little and no cost, and giving courses and meditations, all sorts of stuff to people who otherwise couldn't afford it. So help me out, friends, and I'll help you out. Let's wash each other's back. Love you. Namaste.